All right, we're gonna make two videos, and they're related only in the topic of God, which I'm sure is surprising to everybody out there. One of our videos is related to God.
Shocking.
The first one is I just saw a Facebook post where someone poses the typical conundrum that I've heard in people that don't believe in Christianity or people that stopped believing. It's the same exact, almost verbatim, like mental gymnastics. It's, well, if God's all knowing and all powerful, and it says in the Bible he knew you when he formed you in the womb or whatever you were forming in the womb, then if he knows what people are going to do and he knows that people are going to sin and be bad people and then create suffering, and he still allows them to be made or forms them anyway, then he's not all loving and blah, blah, blah. And,
Isn't there like free will though?
well, I just wish people would put that much effort into actually studying the Bible, then they wouldn't have these questions. But let me first and foremost get this out there, because I see a lot of people attempting to answer this question, right? I'm always like,
Yes.
well, I am now, I'm going to. There's a fundamental difference that I haven't seen too many people do. Let's get this out of the way. And it's implied, I'm sure it's implied when people say it, but I like to just get it out in the open. None of us have an effing clue on how God works,
That's true.
besides what is outlined in the Bible. And it says in the Bible, he's given us knowledge, he's given us, and the rest we don't get to have. So anybody who says they know how Elohim works is straight out. They don't know. It even says in the Bible, his thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. Yes, we are made in his image, and it does show that he is emotion. So in certain ways we are like him, but I think it's obvious that a creator that can create this whole world with the complexities of it and all that stuff is far, far beyond us in any realm of anything you could think of. So having said that, you're just going to get opinions on this topic, which is why you probably shouldn't go looking for other people to explain it to you. You should read the Bible and get to know God yourself, and not with your own conversation with who you think is the Holy Spirit in your mind, because unless you're checking the Holy Spirit with the Bible, which means you have to read it and know it, you don't know who you're really talking to in your mind. That's my opinion too. So let me preface this by saying what my opinion of all this is. Life in general is a douchebag test. God doesn't want to put up with douchebags in heaven, and neither does anybody else. I mean, really, anybody out there. You don't want to put up with the people. Well, right, that's what I'm saying. Right, the people who do that stay down here or go somewhere else.
Don't want to
So,
try.
like, we don't want to put up with the people. Like, when you're in heaven and you got to go to the store, you don't want to put up with the people that pulled their car up in front of the front door in the no parking zone and just get out and stay there and, stand there with their car and walk in and do their shit and walk out. No one wants those people around. So, and stuff, so it's a big douchebag test. Are you going to follow the rules? Are you going to believe in me? Believe in, the physical manifestation of me, my son, Jesus, that he died for you? And are you going to follow my rules? See, the church stops at the first one, but they don't teach you that you also have to follow his rules. That's absolutely not negotiable, except for very few cases. There's a few. And I did a 2-hour-long video on it. You can go check it, where every instance in the Bible it shows where he says, follow my rules, my commands, my law, my Torah. So having said that, first off, you're making an assumption that when he says, I knew you in the womb, I formed you, that he is choosing to know exactly what you are going to do your whole life. He, by definition, he chooses not to, can't, or won't.
Oh, I was actually just going to call
Because, hi.
Here, let's pause.
Because I can't pause. Well,
Why don't we wait? Because she's going to come check my beach.
well, I'll go in there. My theory is he gives us free will, so we can choose to do whatever we want. So remember, we're talking about our all-powerful being, and you have to look at the theory of different dimensions of time. For example, if you have a piece of paper, take a piece of paper and take a pen and draw one dot, and then maybe a couple inches away, draw another dot, and then draw a line with some arrows on it from one dot to the other. Now, because you're looking down at the dot, you saw when both dots were created, you saw the line going from one to another, meaning a path. So you saw all that. But if you were on the paper as that initial dot, you might not have even seen the second dot drawn because it was so far away. And as you were, as the pen was drawing the path from the first dot, you to the second dot, you didn't necessarily know where you were going. But as looking at it from above, you knew where they were going and the path they took. Even if they chose to do a left or a right on the spot, you saw them the second they turned. So it could be something like that. Or it could be something as far as he can know, but he chooses not to, for the most part. I'm sure there's other theories that I'm missing. But there's no, I'm sorry, I'm afraid there's no solid answer I can give you because I don't know. That's just my opinion based off of reading the Bible 4 times and knowing a little bit about the physics of time and how that works and space-time. All that stuff works. I got knowing very little about that stuff, but a little. And my guess is as to how he handles that. Like you said, he can, maybe if he needs to look into someone, he knows what they're going to do, but he chooses not to. Again, no human will be able to give you a for certain answer, but if you study the Bible and you get a feel for how the Bible describes him, you'll get a pretty good idea. And he's not out there, he's not the no fun police, he's not there to cause suffering. Humans do that. You do that. I do that when I choose to murder somebody with my mouth, like Jesus says, you're not supposed to talk shit. When you decide to gossip, when you decide to engage in activity that hurts someone, God doesn't do that. We choose to do that. That's free will. So trying to blame it on him, I don't feel I feel that's shirking of responsibility. Like they're trying to take responsibility off of the people who commit the acts, and we all do. We're all sinners. So I'm not saying I'm whatever. I'm a douchebag, straight up. So that's trying to let say we're not the victims. We choose. Hopefully that's clear as mud. Any questions, let me know. Or any comments, any other theories?
See, that's what I
We're doing some sugar blood testing over here.